Parker stopped by to visit for a minute. He doesn't want to get too close. He's camera shy. Today I'm going to work on a knife. I've already got the rough shape. I used my new setup with my bandsaw, and I've used my new ceramic belts for my belt grinder. Yes, this is a cheapo belt grinder from Grizzly. It does fine. It's just the belts. So I got some ceramic ones. I'll try to leave a link in the description where I got them, because from what everybody said, it's hard to find them for a 1x42, I believe is what this is. As you can see, I've got my lines laid out to where my plunge lines, and I've got my these lines is where I will grind to. So from here to here to make my bevel. There's I'll put a choil right there. I'm going to bring you in and show you how I use my grinding jig. So I'm going to move the camera around. I probably will go ahead and put the choil in first, and then I can grind up to it, and then it's all nice and tight. I am going to do a thinning spine because this is quite thick material. It's like 5mm, I think, thick, and I want it to be more started about 4 and taper down. Alright, so the way this jig works is I clamp my blade on, and it sits on these screws, indexes. So if you can see this. And then I just go up to my belt, and I start right here. I sight down it, and I just move it. And I'll do it evenly. I'll do like 3 or 4 on this side, and then I'll take it off and I'll flip it over and do the exact same thing and keep going. I've got on the bottom, there are these screws that adjusts my angle. So instead of it sitting flat, let's see if you're in frame here. Instead of it sitting flat like that, I get it kicks it up at an angle. So instead of like that, it's like that. So I can't talk when I've got my desk mask on. It's a full face mask. So this is just going to be a lot of time lapse of me doing this. So that was just a few minutes, and I've already got it to the rough shape. Now I'm going to have to switch over. I'm not going to get too close to finish because I've still got a heat treat, and I don't want it to warp. As you can tell, I've got nice plunge lines on both sides, almost identical to my marking. I'll get that with hand sanding and final grinding. Something to note, I don't know if you've never done any kind of metal work or whatever, usually when you use a belt grinder with regular belts are silicon carbide. So with those belts, they create a lot of heat. And I don't know if you paid attention or not, but I didn't dunk this in water one time. And I'm pretty much done with the shaping with the bevels. And I didn't have to dunk it once. I will go in and refine the choil, but I'll do that after. I'll do it right before I heat treat. So I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to switch the belt over and put the whatever grit that was. It's like 120, I believe, but it's just a finishing, conditioning belt, I think is the way they advertise it. But other than that, I am very, very pleased. So I think I'll just put it right here on my tapering jig and do the same thing. Do it exactly like if I was doing the blade. I'll tighten it down with a clamp, put it on here, and I'll just hit it a few times. It won't take much. Alright, so I've got it roughed in about as much as I'm going to go. I put a compound bevel, so I started out on this line here, and then I upped my bevel so this is nice and crisp. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I've got it thinned out. It's lost quite a bit of weight. I didn't weigh it before or after. There's a little hole right there, so you can see that. That was where I was going to start doing some file work on the spine, but I changed my mind. I'll just leave that. When I put the scales on, I'll put some black epoxy or something in there, just make it a mark, make it a feature instead of a flaw. So the next thing will be a video tomorrow. Well, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to redo this choil just a little bit, and then tomorrow I'll do the heat treat. It's getting late in the day, so I'm going to regrind that, or cut that in. I didn't grind up to it, so I'm going to put the choil there, and then I'll taper that, or I'll fade it in.